If you go online nowadays, you hear a lot of people talking about the loneliness epidemic, where people feel socially isolated and feel like they lack meaningful connections. This is not something that I've ever dealt with, and the reason that I've never had to deal with this is because I've maintained lifelong friends for over 15 years. These are not just friends who I've met one day in high school or in uni or at work. These are friends who follow me through different stages of my life and are with me through my ups and downs. In this video, I'll explain the key lessons that I learned in maintaining lifelong friends. So there's a couple caveats. The first caveat is that if you want to have long-term friends, they need to be good people and they need to be your people. And this means that they need to share the same core values as you do. The second caveat is that people slough off over time. Like friends disappear over time, and this is actually just a natural course of life. You know, if you have a uni friend, and then you stop going to uni, chances are they're just going to disappear over time. This is just something that you have to accept and realize that not everyone you meet is going to become that long-term friend. And the third thing to realize is that you need to put an effort to maintain your friendships. Which leads me onto my first point, and that is the mindset shift. You need to shift your mindset when trying to maintain long-term friends as opposed to just having uni friends or high school friends or work friends, i.e. temporary friends. Temporary friends are made through repeated interactions or shared activities. So think about how you become friends with the people at your high school or at your uni. You see them once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, maybe every single day. And then you guys just become friends because you have a shared activity or you have repeated interactions with each other. Now, the big difference is that as an adult, you have to put an effort to maintain these friendships. Otherwise, they'll just wither away. And this is the key mindset shift that you need to have. Now, there are 3 core features that are required in maintaining long-term friends. The first thing to realize is that your interactions need to be low friction. What do I mean by low friction? I mean that meeting up or interacting with you needs to be less hassle than it is worth. So what this means is that you should not try and organize get-togethers that are really onerous, that are really challenging, that are really time consuming to get to or require a lot of planning. If you can have interactions that are low stakes, low effort, and easy for people to come, this makes it much more easy for people who are busy with work, busy with family, busy with relationships, or stressed out in their life to come and join you. So this can either be things like just you organizing, say, a get-together at a restaurant, or you organizing, say, just a game of badminton, or even something as simple as like all of you being together in a Zoom call or Discord chat, or just like a get-together at someone's house, maybe once a week or once a fortnight. Now, that is low friction from a logistics point of view. There's actually a different point of view as well. You need to be less hassle than you're worth in terms of you cannot be emotionally needy or emotionally burdensome. If you're really anxious or you're really stressed out or you're really depressed and you come online every single day and you complain about your anxiety, your stress or your depression, you're basically like an energy vampire. You just suck away the energy of people around you, and people will not want to be friends with you in the long term because this at best, this turns into sort of like a caregiver-caretaker relationship as opposed to an authentic friendship. The second core feature that's required in maintaining long-term friends is that you must interact often. This is absolutely critical. The reason that you are friends with people in your high school or at work is because you guys see each other often. And the key mistake that people make when trying to maintain these long-term friendships is that they don't see each other often enough. It is not good enough to see each other once a year or twice a year or 3 times a year. You simply cannot maintain a good friendship, like a long-term friendship, by seeing each other, 1 or 2 or 3 times a year. Ideally, you'd see each other at least once a fortnight or at least once a month. Personally, I have a Discord channel where I can talk to my friends. I usually talk to my friends 3 or 4 times a week. And then when I see them in person, say once every couple months, because we live interstate. Why is it important that you guys meet often? Number one is that it reduces the amount of pressure on you guys when you guys do meet. If you guys see each other like 3-4 times a week, or at least like once a fortnight, there's not much pressure. It's low stakes. Everyone feels comfortable in coming or not coming. I'll come if I don't have anything on, but if I'm taking care of my family, or I have this relationship issue that I need to take care of, it's absolutely okay for me not to come. And because it's low stakes and low pressure, people feel more comfortable and people feel more authentic. And this means that people aren't meeting up with you because of some societal obligation, rather that they're meeting up with you because they want to be around you, and this fosters a stronger connection and helps maintain the relationship. The other obvious thing is that the more often you see each other, the more you'll tend to like each other, and the more it'll just strengthen your bond, regardless of what you're doing when you're together. The third key thing is that you must have shared emotional experiences or bonding moments. This is also absolutely critical. If you do not want to just maintain surface level friends and you want to actually deepen your friendship over time, there needs to be moments of vulnerability, moments of emotion, and moments of bonding. Now, to make this clear, this is not every single time you guys meet up. In fact, it should not be every single time you guys meet up. But once in a while, you guys need to have that vulnerability, that emotion that allows for you guys to bond. And how do you do this? Well, there's plenty of ways to do it, right? But just some ideas off the top of my head are to not shy away from difficult topics. Share your ups and your downs with your friends. Share the things that you're struggling with. Share your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your aspirations. Share family problems. Share relationship problems with your friends. Even something like criticizing your friend or having like an argument with a friend can be almost like an emotional moment that like strengthens your bonds. The next thing that I want to talk about is that your friendship must be tested. And I don't mean that you have to go out of your way, and I certainly don't mean that you should go out of your way to test your friendships. But there's 3 main ways that I found that my relationships were tested. The first one is probably the most common and the one that you're most familiar with, and this is having arguments. It is inevitable that when you're friends with somebody for many, many years, you guys are going to have a lot of arguments. And it's important in that moment that when you're really angry, that you don't let that anger consume you, because that anger will wipe out the past 14 years of friendship and just show you that you're angry at this person right now. You have to be able to manage conflict. You have to be able to compromise. You have to be able to swallow your own ego and preserve that friendship. The second key challenge is that your friends could move interstate. Your friends could move overseas. Your friends could become busy and then just not be able to see you as often. So in my life, there's been periods of time where I've not spoken to my friends for like a month or 2 months because I've been studying for exams. And the key thing to recognize here is that it's not personal. Your friends aren't ditching you. Your friends aren't ghosting you. There are just certain challenges in their life that they have to deal with right now, but it's okay because, once those challenges are over, you recognize that they'll come back to you essentially. And the third thing to recognize is that sometimes your relationship can get strained when you feel that you've outgrown the other person. So for example, I once felt like a little bit more ambitious than my friends, and I felt that my friends weren't being ambitious enough. And this really kind of strained the relationship for a couple of weeks. But then I realized that why am I friends with these people for the past 13 years? It's because they share so many values with me. They're like my people. I don't need them to share every single value with me. If I want more ambitious friends, I can find more ambitious friends on the side. Why do I say that it's important that your friendship needs to be tested? Because until your relationships are tested, there's always like this thought up in the air of, things are going well now, but like, what happens if there's a big fight or if there's a big argument? When your friendship survives these stresses, survives these arguments, survives these like long distance friendships, then like it kind of proves to everyone that like this friendship is the real deal and allows you to be, closer friends. So these are the main lessons that I've learned over 15 years of maintaining a core friendship group. I hope that the advice and the stories that I've given in this video are helpful to you guys. And if you guys are interested in anything that I've said or feel that I should elaborate on anything, then leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to get down to it.